Family who builds an indestructible house soon faces the ultimate test. When it comes to the safety of your family, you might hope for the best while planning for the worst. Even if disaster never strikes, the knowledge that you and your home and everything in it won't end up damaged beyond repair can go a long way. This family in coastal Florida built a home designed to withstand any disaster, a true feat of engineering. Obviously, they hoped their safeguards would never be tested. But when one deadly storm swooped in and threatened to push the house past its limits, the engineers couldn't help but worry. After all, even the Titanic sank eventually.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
Russell King and his nephew LeBron Lackey could hardly wait as they ironed out the details of their big project. The Tennessee residents planned to build a vacation home for their extended family, whom they hoped would enjoy it for generations, or maybe even forever. They chose the town of Mexico Beach, Florida, as their vacation locale. The Panhandle community had a more mom and pop feel compared to other Florida destinations overrun with tourists, also boasting a beautiful view of the Gulf of Mexico. It was the perfect place to build. The state of Florida already enacted strict building codes for all new construction, though areas on the Gulf were a bit laxer. For perfectionists like Russell and LeBron, however, these laws were not enough. They wanted to go above and beyond existing regulations. They remembered how, over the years, freak storms like Hurricane Katrina devastated communities. Other new homeowners in Mexico Beach simply prayed no weather event would ever threaten their property. But Russell and LeBron understood hope alone was not a strategy. "I believe the planet's getting warmer and the storms are getting stronger," Russell said about his building philosophy. "We didn't used to have storms like this, so people who live on the coast have to be ready for it." Russell and his nephew decided that their home would have to be a fortress. After some research, they asked their architect to build a house capable of withstanding 250 miles per hour winds. It was a huge request, but at the very least it would give the family peace of mind. The construction drew upon the latest storm-proof technology. Because the house was right on the water, the work began with a foundation of 40-foot metal pilings, which would place the building well above any incoming tidal floods. Steel cables ran from the eaves down to the ground to make sure that the roof would stay attached. The walls themselves were made of 12 inches of reinforced concrete, with durable siding to armor the outside layer. And that wasn't even the first line of defense. LeBron and Russell put in salt-tolerant plants all along the dunes that separated their house from the shoreline. Though this precaution didn't look like much, these grasses are actually one of the most effective ways to protect dunes from erosion. All in all, reporters estimated these outside fortifications tacked on an additional $400,000 to construction costs. Of course, they took a different approach on the inside, which felt nothing like a military stronghold. Russell and LeBron decked it out to comfortably accommodate their entire family and provide for some world-class vacations. By May of 2018, the house was ready. The Kings and Lackeys proudly dubbed their new home the Sand Palace. The entire clan spent a relaxing 4th of July together in Mexico Beach, and they decorated the house with red, white, and blue memorabilia for the occasion. They couldn't have been happier. But neither Russell nor LeBron realized there was trouble on the horizon. In early October, radars picked up the beginnings of Hurricane Michael. Meteorologists announced it would be one of the strongest storms to ever hit the country. Florida evacuated most of its citizens near the coast and hoped the worst of the weather system would miss them. The Gulf Coast had no such luck. Russell, safely at home in Tennessee, watched live footage from a security camera as Hurricane Michael pounded Mexico Beach. He saw gusts of wind and water carry away his neighbors' homes and worried, even with all their precautions, would the Sand Palace survive? The results of the storm were devastating. Residents trickled back in to check on their homes, only to find over 3/4 of properties in the town suffered serious damage. Many long-standing houses and businesses simply were not there anymore. Naturally, properties right along the shore bore the brunt of the storm, while inland buildings got a little more protection. But as the people of Mexico Beach picked through the rubble, they noticed something amazing. While the hurricane leveled nearly all the other structures in the vicinity, the Sand Palace still stood strong. The storm took over 30 lives and tore apart homes and businesses, and yet one house right on the water looked seemingly no worse for the wear. Russell headed down to Mexico Beach to check in on the house and lend a hand to his neighbors. He found that the Sand Palace experienced a bit of water damage, one cracked window, and quite a few exterior scars. Thankfully, he could remedy all those problems in just a few weeks. Other people lost everything. LeBron and his uncle felt overwhelmed that their preparations worked and that they had the resources to protect their home so thoroughly. "We wanted to build it for the big one," LeBron said. "We just never knew we'd find